up, guys. Go and find your name right here. Top spot. All right, everyone. We have Chance McMillan, JT Toppin, and Darian Williams here. JT, welcome to San Francisco.
Appreciate it.
Darian, Chance, welcome back to California and the Bay.
Appreciate it.
We'll open it up to the questions for the three of these guys.
This question for Chance. Nathan Callan from the Bay Area News Group. What's it like for you, Vallejo kid, just to be back home here in the Bay?
It feels good. I went to school up until high school in San Francisco, so I have like a lot of people from San Francisco expecting to come to the game. It feels good to come back home because this is my first game in Northern California too, so I have a lot of people excited to watch this.
Follow up for Darian. Just what's it like? You know, you and Chance being two NorCal guys over there in Texas. What's that like?
It's special. Obviously, we knew each other going into it, so it made the transition a little easier. But I mean, it's a blessing to come back and play in front of a bunch of family and friends.
Yeah, Chance, Steve Croner from the San Francisco Chronicle. First, you said you grew up in the city. Where did you go to elementary school or middle school?
I went to Star Sea, and then I went to St. Thomas Apostle in middle school.
Okay. And obviously the question has been for the last couple of weeks, how's your health? Do you think you can play? How's your health? Do you think you can play?
I'm getting better day by day. Been in the training room, been doing a lot of pool workouts and breathing workouts because I strained my oblique pretty bad. But my goal is to play tomorrow.
Hi, Chance. Chris Alvarez from ABC7 here in the Bay Area. I'm curious how much you're in the home of the Warriors, how much Warriors you watched growing up, and maybe your fandom for Steph Curry.
I'm definitely a Warriors fan. And what's funny, me and Darian came here this past Christmas to watch that game. So I'm going exactly where I sat at last game to go sit there.
This is for Chance and Darian. Ty Richardson, ESPN Arkansas. Have you guys had an excess amount of ticket requests, being that you guys are back in California?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it hard to divvy all those up when you guys only get a certain allotment for that?
Yeah, I just tried to focus on giving my family and close friends tickets.
What have you guys learned about Arkansas this week, just watching film and getting ready for this game tomorrow night?
I think they're a good team. They're getting healthier, too, kind of like us. They had a lot of guys out towards the end of the year. They're a pretty long team. They get to block a lot of shots, and they play pretty hard. And obviously they have a really good coach, so they'll be hard to play against.
Yeah, for JT and Darian, two-part question. How did you guys win two NCAA games with Chance on the bench, and how was he on the bench, demonstrative, not demonstrative? How was he handling not being able to play and trying to support you guys?
Well, we got a lot of good players, so, like, obviously the game, next man up, and they're always ready, so that's a good part of it. And Chance, he's just amazing on the bench, supportive. He's going to help even if he's not in the game, so it's just great to have that support.
Yeah, like you said, he wants to play. He shows that every day. He's trying to get there, but I think everybody, like you said, next man up. And he was always great on the bench, making sure everybody was locked in.
Nathan Geese, Lubbock Avalanche Journal. JT, Arkansas's got a little bit more length than what you guys have seen. Kind of like, how does your mindset flip when there's a little bit more size going against you, as opposed to like Drake when you guys had the size advantage?
Really the same mindset, just stay physical. It's going to be a physical game, and the people who's more physical, I think, is going to come out with the win. So really just staying physical.
And then for Darian and Chance, you guys remember last year against NC State, what the disappointment from that? What's it like for you guys to decide to come back, do this again, and get to this spot now?
It was great. One of the goals we talked about was at least getting past the first weekend, because neither of us ever won a game in the tournament before. So it's nice, but we didn't come here to make the Sweet 16. Came here to win it.
That's what he said.
Front row.
Chance, just curious. Obviously, I think a lot of the kids growing up watched you with your mixtapes. What do you remember most about playing at Bethel, St. Patrick, St. Vincent, and maybe even for Lakeshore AU?
I would just say I feel like right now I'm another role model how I was or how like Trevor Dunbar and like Jabari Bird was for me. So I feel like I'm just carrying on that role model status for the younger generation right now, especially Lake Show and all those kids. So I'm that person that they can look up to.
Yeah, Chance, this might be a tough one, but I'm sure you probably went through it last weekend. I know you want to play, but I also know you don't want to jeopardize yourself or put your teammates in a bad spot if you're not healthy enough to play. How do you make that decision? I'm sure with the doctors, but what goes into making it? Can I do it or not?
That's a good question, but really it's just a question I ask myself. Trusting God, and then just go from there. But I'm really just taking it one step at a time, making sure I'm right mentally and physically.
Pete Christie, KCBD in Lubbock. Can you just, after looking at film, what are your biggest concerns from what you see in Arkansas and as you get ready for tomorrow's game?
As we watch film, we've seen the guards have a good dribble pull-up, and they're downhill guards. They like to shoot shots off the dribble, so that's been an important focus for us.
Yeah, just guarding the ball and rebounding and being more physical than them because obviously they're a little bit taller and longer than us. So just being able to guard the ball, I think, is the biggest thing.
Further questions from the room?
Yeah, it's Christian Babcock with the Bay Area News Group. JT, I'm curious, some of the other teams we're talking about trying in and out have Chance and Darian put you on in and out. Is there anything you've done in the Bay Area that's been especially cool?
Chance gave me a quesadilla, so that was smooth, pretty good. But I've always had in and out because I was actually born by LA, like 45 minutes away. So I've been a part of this lifestyle. So yeah, I've had in and out.
Okay, no further questions from the room. We've got one question on Zoom from Sean Dillon with Alpha Media. Sean, go ahead. Reminder to unmute yourself if possible there, Sean.
Can you hear me now?
We've got you, Sean. Go ahead.
Chance, how has this team mindset changed from the beginning of the season to today, and why are the Red Raiders a dangerous team?
Our mindset didn't change at all from the start of the season. As we were going throughout the season, like we realized like we were a pretty tough team, and everyone on our team can hoop, and it's just a matter of who is going to step up on that given night. And what was the second part of your question? I'm sorry.
Why are the Red Raiders a dangerous team?
We're a dangerous team because we have all the pieces. We can shoot, we can play inside, and we're unselfish. That's what really makes us dangerous. We're unselfish.
Okay, guys. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Everyone will be joined by Texas Tech head coach Grant McCaslin here momentarily. Thanks, guys. All right, everyone, we have Texas Tech head coach Grant McCaslin here with us. Coach, welcome to San Francisco. And we'll open it up with a statement from Coach, followed by questions.
Man, what a fantastic opportunity for the Red Raiders to be in San Francisco and to be playing in the Sweet 16. I know our guys are excited to be here and play a tremendous opponent in Arkansas, and I know Coach Cal has the Razorbacks playing great basketball, and we know we're going to have to play our best in order to put ourselves in position to win.
Josh Dubois, Associated Press. What stands out about Coach Cal and made him so successful, and what's it like going up against him?
I think the biggest thing is their team's improved. I mean, if you're asking me about anybody, I would say, how resilient are you when things don't go your way? And that's the biggest compliment I could give this team, that Coach Cal seems like he always believes in them and gets them to believe in themselves and figure out a way as the identities change in these programs, with some players being available and they've had their obvious difficulties with injuries, but they found a way to get better and found a way to not only get better but play great and win. So starting 0-5 in SEC play and to pull such a string of wins together to put themselves in this position is really awesome to watch.
Yeah, Coach Steve Troner from the San Francisco Chronicle. Obviously, there's a lot of interest here in Chance McMillan because he's from the Bay Area. What's his status? How have you been able to win games without him? And how has he been as a teammate who cannot play?
You know, Chance McMillan, and I said this earlier in the year, but, man, he's remarkable. And I mean that in every way. He has allowed us to coach him and to tell him the truth, but also to give him the path that we felt like gave him the best chance to be the best player and gave him the best chance to help our team win. And he's embraced it. I mean, he's told me several times after practices during tough moments, like, Coach, keep coaching us hard. Like, stay on this team, and I will not let you lose the locker room. And nobody says that. I mean, he's in the 1% of players that really want that can say it and then live it. And one example of Chance just being an awesome teammate, we'll go into the gym and we get these shoot-around opportunities in new venues, and he's the first guy that goes right to the block and does his form shooting and then works his way out and gets to the free throw line on both ends, and he's just got like a real disciplined approach to his game. And some guys will go in the gym and they'll shoot threes from half court when they start. You know, it's everybody's got their own way, but Chance really does give himself and maximize who he is. And that I have such a tremendous amount of respect for. And he's taken the same approach as he's not playing. And that's one thing about this difficulty that he's going through. I mean, he's preparing to play every game, even if he can't. And at this point, we're hopeful that he will play sooner rather than later. But it's honestly out of my hands, as you know. And but I do believe we're getting close. And before, it was hard for me to say. Now I honestly do think we're getting close. So as to his availability, it's going to be a game-time decision. But he's been remarkably resilient, and he's been as good as a guy on the bench as he was as a player because of his belief in what we're doing. And every time out that I'm on people, and you got plenty of clips of me jumping on guys, he's behind them, telling them like to hang in there because this is what we need. And that's what I think allows our team to win when he's not playing.
Jackson Fuller, Southwest Times Record. Coach, you talked about Arkansas's turnaround. I'm curious, when preparing for them, do you go back and watch the film from maybe when they were in that 0-5 start just to see things that they struggled with, or are they such a different team now that you have to throw that away and focus on maybe the recent weeks?
Well, I think as it pertains to us, we're more looking for identifiables that are similar to what we do so that we can have some crossover in regards to tendencies. And they are significantly different in a lot of ways, and I think that's just the confidence of some guys playing and then other guys having to step up into roles that we know. But at this stage, you prepare for everything. And I don't say that to be cliche. I just mean it. I mean, I know it looks like They may have some guys that weren't playing that may play, and they may have a pretty significant piece that may play. So in order for us to be the most prepared, we've looked at everything. But we've spent a majority of the time on the more recent guys that have played and how they're playing and the rhythm and flow at which they compete, and they're playing great basketball.
Ron Krojcik from the San Francisco Chronicle. Excuse me, Grant, I was hoping you could answer sort of a bigger picture question about the NCAA tournament and why you think it resonates so strongly with American sports fans. I know you took a North Texas team here, and you guys are in Wichita, now you're in San Francisco. 4 sites last weekend, 4 sites this weekend. It seems like it spreads around the country and reverberates, more than almost any other event. Beyond the gambling component, I'm curious why you think and what it's like for you and your players to be on this sort of journey.
Well, I mean, how many times do you have a bracket, if you will, that a 3-year-old can pick what's next? I mean, like, that's what makes this awesome, is there's so many different ways to cross over picking a bracket, whether it be colors or mascots, and I think that first round interest, and as it rolls into the tournament, you can see there's more identifiable teams that people across America want to see them compete against each other. And the one and done component that football's finally figuring it out, and that basketball's had figured out for a long time, I think is the most beautiful part of tournament and competition that people love to pick and to see how it will turn out. And it feels like sometimes in the early rounds, the less experience you have, the better you do. And it's changing, though. College athletics is changing, and that's changing too. So I'll be interested to see how it is moving forward. But what a great game, first and foremost. And secondly, there's nothing like a tournament where you have this many teams competing at one time for a national championship. There's nothing like it.
Pete Christie from KCBD in Lubbock. Coach, JT Toppin was kind of quiet in the first game against North Carolina Wilmington and really showed why he is the Big 12 player against Drake. Can you just talk about how important he is to this team?
Yeah, I've said this several times. We had our first few practices with JT and Darian Williams and Chance McMillan being the leaders with Kerwin Walton of returners on our team that we really put a lot of faith in. And Darian Williams being an all-conference player that returned, JT jumped over the top of him in our first workout, grabbed the ball, and then dunked it. And he turned around and looked at me, and I looked at him like, yeah, it's gonna be a good fit. And then we played St. Joe's in a tournament at Barclays earlier this year, and JT played really well, but we lost the game. And in the locker room, there was no one more upset than JT Toppin. And I will tell you, that combination of his talent, but also his love to win and his competitiveness, our team is really believed in. And I think moving forward, specifically in the NCAA tournament, JT's unselfishness and his ability to pass, I think, is his most underrated attribute for our program and our team. He just does not force difficult shots when he probably could, and sometimes he should, but he just really does care about his teammates, and he's always making the right play. And, man, his competitiveness, his talent are two really important things, but I think his ability to pass and make the right play is what separates him.
Hey, Coach McCaslin, Rocco Miller here, Bracketeer.org. Great to finally see you in person.
You too, man.
I want to give you a quick opportunity to react to the news of your protege, Ross Hodge, the new head coach at West Virginia. Obviously, your feelings about it, and then him also joining the Big 12.
Well, as much as I love him now, he's the biggest pain in my butt. So, Ross Hodge is like a brother. And just take basketball out of it. He's just one of my best friends. And I just love him because I think a lot of people want to be in college athletics because of these opportunities, playing in the Sweet 16 and what people think is really important. But Ross Hodge is a guy that loves his wife. He loves his daughter and his son. And he loves the guys that he gets to be around every day. And I just respect him because I believe that he cares about the right things. And if there's anybody that I believe can win at West Virginia, it's Ross Hodge. And I say that because we're going to have to play against him too, but I honestly do believe that. I mean, and I would say the same thing about a guy like Ben McCollum, who we played against. Like, if people ask me who I would hire, no matter what job was open, and those would be the first two guys I would mention for any job in the world. And I'm thankful that on our staff, I think we got several guys. Matt Breyer's going to get the opportunity at Stephen F. Austin, and Jeff Linder could coach anywhere in the country. And we've got another guy in Luke Barnwell, but Achoki Moikobu on our staff. He's going to be a head coach at the highest level someday. And I just respect people that make decisions that aren't based off of money, and that don't make decisions based off of what they think other people believe will win. Ross Hodge is convicted about loving people, holding them accountable, and telling them the truth. And I think that is the separator in this time, because then you will see he will win in the Big 12, and it will not be what other people think. It will be at the highest level. And I'm not looking forward to playing him, but I am looking forward to going on this journey with him because I love him. And I love him because of who he is as a husband, and who he is as a father, and who he is as a friend.
Great answer. Follow-up basketball question here in the West Regional. The other three teams, Arkansas included, are top 70 tempo teams. You're obviously much more deliberate, slower paced, but even more so, you're better at getting your opponents to play even slower than you play. Do you relish this now that it's you against these three faster teams?
Well, I think what we've shown is we can do both, and I think that's an important part of winning when you get into these games, and it's finding a way. And for us, especially because of maybe some limited numbers and our involvement in trying to make sure that we play inside out, it's really been beneficial for us to control tempo. But if you think Elijah Hawkins can't play with tempo, then, and Chance McMillan making threes, and Christian Anderson's about as good as it gets in the middle third, and so Darian Williams being a big part of what we do, I think, is such an important part of making sure that we get the right shots and that we guard at a level that gives us the best chance to get stops so that we can play in transition. So, I would think that we're a team that can win in a lot of different ways, but these tournaments, with the way you have medias and the way you have such a break in the action for longer stints, it's hard to play as fast as teams want to, and to be able to play possession basketball, I do believe gives us a great chance to win a game.
Nathan Geese, Lubbock Avalanche Journal. I was just wondering about taking this journey with Chance and Darian specifically, because they were the first two guys that kind of come with you and from the outside and say, I want you to take me here. And then having them be on the stage now, kind of keeping a promise, so to speak. What does that kind of mean to have these guys along with you?
Yeah, no, it is awesome. I can tell you the heart behind both of those guys. In a world where everybody's asking what you can give them, both of those guys wanted to know how we could win. And both of them, Darian Williams and Chance McMillan, Darian being the first, both of those guys, investment in winning from the beginning and not asking what they're going to get out of it, I think says everything about not only who they are as young men, but who they are as teammates and as basketball players. And if you watch the way they play the same way that they live their life. It's like unselfish. How do you make other people around you better, and how you care about more about the success of others than you do about the success of yourself. And that's honestly why we chose them from the beginning, is because they're winners and they've always gotten better. And honestly, neither one of them have been thought of as the best players on their teams at every team they've ever been on. And even though I felt like they made the biggest impact, that's kind of what I think separated our program, is their their genuine heart to help other people. And those two guys don't only play that way, they live that way.
Got time for one more here from Christian.
Hi, Coach. Christian Babcock with the Bay Area News Group. I'm curious, you took UNT, on a great run in the NIT. Do you feel like that, has translated for you in the NCAA tournament? And what did you learn from that you can apply to this run this year?
Yeah, I'm thankful because I got the opportunity to be a junior college head coach at 26, and we lost on a tip dunk at the buzzer in what would consider the final 8 teams. And from that moment on, I said, I'm never playing to be happy to be in a tournament. Like, you're going to play this thing to win the whole thing. And then 2 years later, in 2007, we won a national championship in junior college, which is a difficult process because you got to win your regional to even make it to the national tournament. And then there's 16 teams, and you got to win 4 games in 4 days. And that team won a national championship and was the first one since Mookie, Spud, Ricky Grace at Midland College, Spud Webb, and that was a pretty good team. Been 25 years. And then got to do it again in Division II, where we went to the Elite Eight twice, and then won the CBI our first year at North Texas, which was a wild journey. And we actually played here in San Francisco against San Francisco in the championship of that. So a lot of tournament experience to just tell you that you better love your guys and you better believe that you have put yourself in position to win. But you better keep getting better over the course of the game and have a resilient approach that baskets and possessions don't determine the outcome, but the consistent fight that you show over the course of the 40 minutes is the ultimate determining factor with where you win. And we believe in that, and we're going to do it, and we're going to put ourselves in every position we can to respond the right way to things that are difficult. And I think that's what winning in these tournaments is about. And I sure am thankful for all the people that have invested time to put us in this position so that we have enough experience to know how to advance.
We've got one more question on Zoom from Sean Dillon. Sean, go ahead.
Coach, what makes this team so special to you, and what do you feel is the key to beating the Razorbacks?
We've said all along that we've got a great offensive team, and we felt like that our strength was our ability to shoot the basketball and the ability to score, and the greatest areas of improvement would need to be our defense and our ability to rebound. And those areas, our guys have just believed that we can improve and get better, and that's been a consistent emphasis. And I think that's the thing I'm most thrilled about with this group, is that we've grown in those areas and we've improved. And then the thing about Arkansas is they've got a lot of talent. I mean, they've got a couple all-conference preseason guys. They've got guys that have projected to be NBA players, and man, they were picked 4th, I think, in the SEC going into the season. So there's nobody denying that they have plenty of talent, and just respect the fact that they can leverage you in so many different ways. They can leverage you on the glass. They can block shots. They can defend. They can score in transition. They can make threes. There's just a lot of different ways they can beat you, and to be able to fight them on every possession is going to be extremely important to give ourselves a chance to win.
Coach, thanks for your time. Good luck this week.
Wreck 'em.
All right, everybody, that concludes our media availability today. Thanks for being here, and we will see you tomorrow. A reminder that Hammond Communications will post a recording of these press conferences in the NCAA Digital Media Hub. Thank you.